Although we are into 2024, we are going to look back on 2023. This is our good, bad, and ugly of the year. The Marvel Legends team does they call it the draft, where they pick out best Build-A-Figure, best blah, 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 blah. We're the strong collectors, so we're not really beholden to Hasbro like they are, so we can get a little bit more creative with our awards. So stick around and let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Dakota, here with my co-host, Jordan, and it is time to do some awards for the Marvel Legends. So I'm going to run through these awards real quick. We've got some normal ones, we've got some more fun ones, and then Jordan and I are going to give our awards out. So we've got 12 in total here. First, we're going to have the best multi-pack, and these are going to be, we're going to kind of bop around, so this isn't the order we're going to go in. Kind of like the Legends team, we might try to get our picks in before the other. But anyway, best multi-pack, best first-time Marvel Legend, best accessory, most disappointing figure, you almost had it award, most surprising, best Build-A-Figure, bare bones award, the cover of Action Figures I Don't Care About magazine award, the Bang for Your Buck award, the Attaboy award, and then we have a Wildcard award. So,
it's a good lineup.
I think so. If you go back and watch our other one, I pulled some from that. I thought I'd leave out like worst Marvel Legend because like if it's bad, we probably didn't get it anyway. And I don't think there was any like major standouts like there was last year with like Howard the Duck and that like little Wolverine that like really made us mad. So I figured I'd leave that one off. If they weren't good, we probably didn't get them. Most disappointing is kind of in that category of like something we wanted, but then, you know, obviously it disappointed us. So Jordan, I will let you go first, and then we're gonna go. So you're gonna give us your award, and then I'll give my award, and then I'll get to pick the category next. And we'll go back and forth like that.
Okay. You know, I might just get a bad one out of the way.
Okay.
Right off the bat, and I think I'm gonna go with most disappointing.
All right.
And I think you know, and I know, Dakota. I'm going to pick the No Way Home 3-pack as my biggest disappointment of the year. A couple reasons for that. I mean, you know how big of a Spidey guy I am. That one was on my wish list last 2 years ago now. Wow.
Yeah.
And then, you know, waiting for the year and getting it as it was, I was like, these are all right. And then to add insult to injury, we had the single release packs of that, which I was also hoping wouldn't happen. So all around, kind of let me down. Didn't quite hit the potential I wanted. So that was pretty disappointing for me.
Yeah.
Although we did get the web lines, and now I have 3 more of those. So.
Yeah, I think that is a well-deserved award. I think I would argue with you if they had been priced better, but since with the 3-pack, it came out to be like they were 30. I think they were 30 some dollars each.
Yeah.
And then we come out with the single releases and they're 25. I don't think there was any added value in the 3-pack. So that's where I think that's a well-deserved award. All right. Most disappointing for me. I think this one, like if you go back, you watch our wish list for 2023, it wasn't long into 2023 that they announced I think this was my number one wished for figure, and it was random. And it was a huge disappointment to me because it looks so tiny. Like, okay, I haven't had it in person yet, but I don't think I need it in person because it just looks small and just not the random I was hoping for. Because whenever I've seen him in the comics, he's always like towering over everybody, giant cannon hand. We could have had a swappable accessory there. Apocalypse has a swappable cannon hand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember you wanting him, and I was like, dude, that's a long shot, and I was pretty shocked how quickly it came out. But yeah, it just, I could see that. I think that's a bummer when you really want to like kind of obscure. We might not see this guy, and then you get him. It's not quite what you wanted, because then when are you going to see random again?
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a fair pick.
All right. So now it's my turn to pick.
So then you pick, right? All right.
All right. I'm also going to cross these off so we don't double up and then we know what we're doing.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, good. I'm going to go with the Bang for Your Buck award. And I am going to say the Deadpool and Hydra Bob 2-pack. Because we thought that was going to be way more expensive than it was. It's only $50. And it was packed in with so much stuff. He's got all the hands you could ever need. All the weapons. You got him right there. I think that was a great pack. And he was even like super cool. Hydra Bob was updated.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. That was fun. And I'm glad they did that. It was, and I don't think it was actually too hard to get. Like I know that it was San Diego Comic-Con
they put
exclusive.
it back up even when it went or it was up for a while. And then I think it went away and then it came back. But it seemed like most everybody who was looking for it got a chance to get it, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And remember we thought that'd be way more than it was. So for 2 figures with all the accessories.
Right.
A lot of bang for your buck.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to go with my bang for my buck. I did say Black Widow. My first choice was Deadpool Hydra Bob. I went with the super articulated Black Widow. Now, I know this one was a little more, but I think in comparison to some of the other ones that were also going up in price but not coming with more stuff, I thought this was a cool way to give you a lot of those accessories because you do get a lot of stuff with her, but kind of justify. Because how much was she?
I think she was like 30 something.
Yeah,
32 maybe.
So, maybe it was just also on the heels of them putting out that the PS5 Spider-Man.
Yeah,
for like $35 with that. So this was a better justification of a higher price for me.
Yeah.
I think I got her in a deal or something though, so maybe that made it better. But she came with a lot of cool stuff, and I thought that was those were good accessories.
Yeah.
Load up on.
I would say my runner-up for this one, if you had picked the Deadpool Hydra Bob one, I was going to say Spiral, because for $25,
that's true.
6 arms, weapons for each hand, plus extra hands, that is very well worth your $25, I think. And plus it was showing up at Ross for 5 or 10. So if you got it for that, that's a steal. All right, your turn, Jordan.
I'm going to go with... Okay, I think I can use this one for a first-time legend, but you tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
So best first-time legend, my first thought was to go with the Destroyer. Now, I know we had the variant of the Hulkbuster Destroyer. Does that count as technically the first appearance?
I think we've had it before. All
right. Well, if you're going to do me like that. I thought what was actually really cool was the comic Drax. Because we haven't seen him.
All right, I'll let that one slide.
When else would you say we've seen?
Well, we've never had a comic Drax, but we had an MCU Drax several times. So that's why I'll let it count. I'll let it slide.
Okay, you'll let it count. All right. So my defense for this one is I've always kind of liked that design from like the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Watch comics.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to see him in that way, so I thought it was cool. They recreated like the Hulk style Drax with the big cape and everything, and I like the colors a lot on that one. But yeah, I mean, I guess we've gotten Drax even in like the Guardians pack, but to me that's like it's almost a different character than that Drax from those older comics. Yeah. I would argue.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
I'd still argue I could get the Destroyer, but whatever.
Let us know in the comments. Should Jordan have been allowed to use the Destroyer?
That was a variant, dude. That's not even.
But it was still a figure. Doesn't mean it wasn't made.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're gonna let the commenters decide. Let us know.
All right.
Now, if we were including figures that we got within the year, is that a Bride cup?
Yeah, it actually is. I noticed that showing. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna send any subliminal messages.
Anyway,
you continue, please.
If we were going with figures that I got from the year, first time legend, I would have picked Crystar because I think it's an excellent figure. Spoiler alert for the next year's top 10. He's probably going to be at the top. Even spoiler alert. Anyway, for figures that actually were counting within the year, I think Corsair is a good one. I think that Smythe is a good option. but I'm going with the one that I have that I like the most, and that's Lady Bullseye. So, never had her before. I mean, she could honestly be a run for your money and bang for your buck because she comes with sword size, the fans, a Build-A-Figure piece too, and she's on the updated kind of articulation, pinless. I think she moves really well for being a ninja. And then I've been really liking the Daredevil stuff that they've been putting out. So I think that was a excellent first-time Marvel Legend, which I was going through the list. We had a ton of first-time Marvel Legends.
There were a lot of first-time, yeah.
Like that was, it's got to be 20 or 30. So that's pretty impressive for Hasbro to be putting out that many first-timers. All right, my turn again. I'm going to go with the most surprising. Right. So for me, that was the Mach 1 Iron Man, because when they first announced it, I wasn't super excited about it. It looked like it was going to be like really hindered because it was like blocky, but then getting it in hand, it actually moves pretty well. The articulation is surprising on it. And I was very surprised with how much I liked that figure.
Yeah. That one I think I was also wondering about. So I think that's cool that they pulled that one off. My most surprising, I actually also have an Iron Man. And I have the Extremis Iron Man.
Oh.
Which I did not initially I saw it and I'm like, I don't really need another Iron Man, don't need that one. I think I got it in a lot or something, and I ended up keeping it because I don't know. Something about I think they did a really good job with that. I think there's some posability issues, but I think the sculpt and detail is really cool. And I've always liked that look. So, yeah. I mean, that's one that I didn't plan on keeping, but I ended up keeping them. So
nice. Yeah, I'm surprised. I think I've actually seen some people say that's like in their most disappointing category. So
maybe it's that for me because I wasn't looking forward to it, and it was kind of like, do we need another Iron Man? Because usually I don't really have a bunch of Iron Mans. I've got maybe two. Usually let the Iron Mans come and go. Okay.
Yep.
So I get a pick, right?
Yep.
I will go with multi-pack. I'm going to do best multi-pack.
All right.
Okay, so because you didn't let me use the Destroyer, can I use it for the multi-pack?
Of course.
Sullied. Then I would pick the Destroyer Thor 2-pack for my multi-pack choice. I think, yeah. I mean, I was mainly blown away by the Destroyer. I think the Thor's fun too, but I was really impressed by the quality of the Destroyer and how well they did that figure. It's especially amazing if you got him for $25 because that just, I couldn't believe that. But I thought they just did a great job with that figure, and I was quite impressed by the quality and scale. Substantial. So I normally don't get the bigger figures too when they do them like that, but this is one that I definitely glad I got.
Yeah. I thought about that one, but I don't think the Thor blew me away quite enough for me to say it was my favorite.
All right.
It probably would have been my runner-up if you hadn't picked it and you'd picked the one that I'm picking, but I didn't even. The one that I'm picking is, I've had my army up here. I'm going with the Shield and Hydra female trooper 2-pack. So I think this one was, I don't know, I was excited for it because I only got one of the male trooper 2-packs. I probably should have gotten more than that, but those have been sold out for a while. They're pretty expensive now. So I was happy to get some more Shield agents for my display. Hydra could always use some more too. And that's one of my favorite displays I've ever done is this army builder set up here. And they came with multiple heads, hands. They were packed in there really well. The only thing I didn't love about it was that we just got Quake and I had been army building her. So I've got quite a few female army builders now for the Shield side. Not as many on the Hydra side. So I think that's probably what most people did too. But still, I'm glad I've got them. So that's my best.
I like it.
All
and
right.
It had a cool box too, remember?
It did have a cool box. I actually still have one in package because I didn't really have any more room to display up there. So I was like, I'll just keep this in package. And then maybe when we move to the next place, I'll have more space, or I'll just use it to trade for hopefully something else. I'm going to go with Best Build-A-Figure. And for me, there's some options, but there's really only one that I think is worthy of the award, and that is the mindless one. I don't have him finished yet, but I know he's better than Cosmo the dog. I know he's better than Chode. Totally Awesome Hulk really didn't do it for me. Yeah. Mindless one is pretty cool. I'll say again, it's too bad that it's a Build-A-Figure because it's kind of supposed to be an army builder too. Right. But I think it looks substantial. I like the texturing on it. I like the effect for the eye, kind of the smoky look. I think it's a great Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, I've got some limbs, but I'm wanting to assemble the rest because I think he looks really cool. Yeah, so.
I need a few more pieces, but he's almost done.
The pieces that I've gotten are phenomenal. That's a good choice. Okay, that was actually my first one there. So
I actually didn't have him on here. I forgot that he was even in the year. So
right, yeah, that one kind of feels like almost maybe but I get you. Okay, I think in my assessment, runner-up would have had to been. Is it really Chode? I thought we decided it was Chod.
I'm pretty sure it's Chod.
All right, Chode. I would give it to him. I don't love the character, but I thought it was cool to use that Build-A-Figure spot to, help round out your Star Jammers.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of fun. People seemed excited about them, so I guess I haven't really handled them, so I didn't seek them out. But, yeah, Totally Awesome Hulk and Cosmo just weren't. If it gives you hints about what one of my other categories could be, but
okay.
Yes, that will be my pick for Best Build-A-Figure.
Okay.
And then I will transition us into. I'm gonna do bare bones.
Okay.
And my bare bones category is gonna have to go to Ant-Man.
Which one?
The Target one that just had two hands.
Yep.
Just because I think it's a fine figure. I do like the figure. I think that was one of my first ones that I'm trying to remember. Like the experience of the windowless box where you just open it and I'm like, oh man. And then I get him and then there's a little baggie with like one hand in it. Or did he have two hands?
I think he had two hands, yeah.
It was like, man, like there's nothing in here.
Right.
So that was probably my first like big experience of being bummed out by. And that I think that just made the bare bones thing worse. Maybe it'd been different if it was on a retro card, but I think we talked about that. You could have put in a little bit more in there.
Oh yeah,
that was not it. So that would be bare bones for me.
Okay, I have him on my list. I also have future Ant-Man on my list because I don't think that one came with anything.
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
And I'm not even going to pick that one as my winner. But
I was reviewing, dude. I think there was a lot of bare bones.
There was a lot of bare bones. I think the award goes to Tarantula, though, because that one's not even hidden in a windowless package. It's on a retro card. You can see all you get is the figure. No swappable hands, no heads, not that I don't think he really comes with many accessories, but that was it. It was just him. So honestly, all of those, I think those three, like the Astonishing Ant-Man, like you said, if it would have come with a Build-A-Figure piece, I would have said, okay, fine, we got a Build-A-Figure piece in there. Future Ant-Man didn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece. And then Tarantula, also nothing. So
yeah,
I think it's probably worse for Ant-Man because I think that's like the definitive look for that character. So that's why that sucks a little harder. But, Hasbro's
maybe that
Hasbro.
added to my disappointment with that of like, man, I really wanted a classic Ant-Man. And I don't know. Whatever.
All right. So my turn. Picks, though. I'm going to go with the Attaboy Award. And I'm going to give the Attaboy Award to the entire Mindless One wave. Because that one was one where I was getting pretty sour on Marvel Legends for a while. It was like, these are all bare bones. We're getting nothing with them. And then they put out the Mindless One wave, and everything was packed in super well. Good Build-A-Figure. It wasn't a Cosmo the dog, because I hate when they do tiny Build-A-Figures. That's so pointless. It was a substantial Build-A-Figure with everybody coming with accessories. Some people came a little lighter, but usually within waves, you're going to have like some characters like Speedball coming with nothing. You got Thor that comes with a lot. I think this wave was a lot heavier with figures that really didn't have much else that they could have come with. Like I said, Lady Bullseye comes with a bunch. Clea came with quite a bit. The Fist Ninja came with a ton. And they were all cool characters too. So that Mindless Wave one, attaboy, Hasbro. Attaboy.
That's good. Yeah, I remember having similar feelings, and I think when those were all revealed, we were both pretty excited about that. So,
and it doesn't seem like it's a one-off either. Like the Void Wave is looking pretty similar.
That's true. Yeah.
Hasbro's got me hoping.
Had to bleed us dry a little bit just to get the anticipation back.
Right.
My attaboy, something you touched on earlier, is just the amount of first-time / more obscure characters. I think they leaned a lot into that, which I think is cool. You know, whether or not they're always the perfect version or what you want of that, I think it's cool to see them. I mean, of course, you get your repeats, but I think when they start delving more into those characters that are first time, I think is always really fun to see. So, and then it's cool because sometimes you just learn about characters. You know, someone's like, "Oh, I've been waiting for this one," and then you start reading about them or learn more about the team or something. So, I thought that was pretty cool to see. Yeah. So, I would give them an attaboy in the hopes that I get all my 5-packs I wished for.
Yeah.
All right, I get a pick.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with You Almost Had It.
Okay.
My Almost Had It is actually going to go to Hawkeye from the Earth's Mightiest Wave.
Wow, okay.
And that's not to say I don't like it, because I do like it, right? I mean, I Almost Had It is like really good, could have been perfect. I think part of my problem is the $50 nature of it. When it's like this with the Sky Cycle with that, I didn't really feel like that was super justified for me. I would have, I really wanted Hawkeye, and I was still like, do I really want to pay this much for a single figure? Mine, for the life of me, dude, I can't figure out that leg situation. I always feel like the leg's about to pop off every time I move it. I saw a lot of people have that, and maybe that seems small, but for me, those things can be kind of, that can be pretty frustrating.
It was close. They almost had it.
Yeah. It's just like, I can't really move his legs without fear of busting him apart. So maybe I just need to spend more time with the hairdryer, but I don't really like using that step for the figures.
It's almost like the opposite problem, though. Like the hairdryer, well, maybe if the knee was less, but it's kind of hard to heat the knee without heating that like calf cut.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to be tighter.
Maybe. Right.
So that's a tricky situation, yeah.
Yeah, and it seemed like a big design thing because I saw a lot of people commenting about that fact. So that was kind of a bummer to me. But I still really like the figure. I'm glad I have it.
I'm going to give my You Almost Had It award to the Retro Multiple Man. So another one that was kind of bare bones, but it's Multiple Man. He doesn't really need a ton of accessories. But I think that one should have been put in the Army Builder kind of category versus a retro card, because you're paying $25 for Multiple Man. But I don't think most people want a Multiple Man. They want probably 3 or more. So putting him in, and you probably would have had him come with the same amount of accessories, just extra hands, which is less than, that's probably the same as what comes with most of the Army Builders. They usually come with like 2 weapons. So I think that's a missed opportunity for them, or at least probably for us. Like for them, they're making more money, so why would they put him in a Army Builder kind of category? But it was just a plain figure. Like he didn't have any like trench coat or things that really, it was just paint. So that's where I think it would have been nice.
Almost.
But hey, maybe they'll do the X Factor trench coat one in the Army Builder. I don't think so, but I would rather them do that.
That seems less likely.
Right. All right. My turn again. So I am going to go, we're only down to the best accessory, the cover of Action Figures I Don't Care About magazine, and the wild card. I am going to go with best accessory. I think all of my picks from now on are safe, but I'm going to go with best accessory. and I'm going to give it to Detroit Steel and his chainsaw arm. So, I don't have it yet. I will have it someday. He comes with a chainsaw arm. Come on.
Right.
What's going to be better than a chainsaw arm?
That almost sounds like a custom-made figure for Dakota. A giant robot with a chainsaw for an arm.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is fun. I do remember you being excited about when that one maybe takes a price dip.
Yeah.
My best accessory, also one I don't have, but I think it's cool and I want it, is the Doctor Strange box that comes with Mary Jane from the No Way Home set.
Okay.
I really wanted that one. I don't really know if I need that figure, but I think that's a cool accessory to get. I have all my Mystic figures, displays. I think it'd fit in nicely. So if anyone has a loose one of those and wants to send it to me, I'll take it.
I think you're probably pretty safe on that one going on clearance. I would assume.
Yeah.
I think there's probably not going to be too many people wanting that.
Probably right.
All right, you're up, Jordan.
Okay. So this is a good segue into cover of Action Figures I Don't Care About magazine. As I was going through, I was just struck by waves of I could pick almost, I think, anything MCU this year for that. Because I was looking at that Ant-Man wave, and I remember being like, oof, these were dark times.
Yeah.
But, maybe there's at least one MCU figure in there. But that one that's more of a blanket statement. Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I don't think I bought a single MCU figure this year.
Other than the 3-pack?
No, well, I guess the 3-pack, but I technically ordered it
That was a year ago. You got charged
and I
kind of
wanted to, in a way, when Ant-Man came out. I was like, I could be tempted by Kang.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I didn't even want to get that, I guess, but I don't know. I get it. They got to do it.
Mm-hmm. Even the comic ones in that wave really didn't hit that hard. Like Crossfire was
and then
not
the Guardians
that great.
Wave looked kind of rough. Of course, Cosmo.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Okay. So that'd be my pick. In a blanket way.
Understandable. I think, according to prices, I think a lot of people share that sentiment.
Right.
The cover of Action Figures I Don't Care About magazine award for me is going to go to Chamber, because that's just a character on the cover of Marvel Characters I Don't Care About magazine.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, if you make an action figure of him, I don't care either.
I don't want it. I don't know why. Maybe I'll read a book and he'll be in it and I'll care, but I just think he looks so dumb and I don't care to know anything about him. But as I say that, commenters, should I care about him? You've got 2 sentences to make me care about Chamber. Good luck. So then that leaves us with Wildcard. So since I already gave Detroit Steel the award for Best Accessory, I'm going to give the Wildcard award to Super Adaptoid. Because although I've had the figure, it's surprisingly pretty good. I don't care about Super Adaptoid, but I care a lot about the 12-inch scale figure that it is. I really hope we get more figures in that scale. I don't know if Super Adaptoid did well enough for Hasbro to, because I feel like they always do this of like, oh, if you guys want more figures in the 12-inch scale, make sure you go buy this. I don't want that figure. Yeah. I want other figures in that scale, but not that one. So I would hope that we maybe get other, like maybe Goliath or a smaller Sentinel, Apocalypse, because we don't need a HasLab of Apocalypse. I don't
Sentinels in that scale would be amazing.
Yeah, I would.
And those would sell like crazy.
You would have to be probably on that, because I think they're going to start making less and less Marvel Legends, so that's going to sell out super fast. I don't know what the limit is on that, but I'd buy the limit. But yeah, Goliath, give me a 12-inch Giant Man, because you could have your 6-inch Ant-Man Hank Pym type thing, 12-inch HasLab. I think it'd be a cool growing effect. I didn't want that big of a HasLab. I want a 12-inch one. Make it for me. I don't know. We'll see.
Make it happen. No.
What do you give your wild card award to, Jordan?
Mine's maybe not as informative to hopefully the future of the line. But Dakota, I love my Wonder Man. I couldn't figure out quite how to fit him into this list, but I wanted him on there. I just I don't know. I love the look here.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious. It's not perfect. But I think they gave me the version of Wonder Man that I want, at least personally. I've kind of wanted the trench coat one, and I thought for what it is, I thought did a pretty good job with it. So
I agree.
This is one that I was excited to finally see and add to the collection.
That is a good one. I like it.
All
right.
right.
That completes our entire award ceremony here. But we made sure that our categories didn't really include best figure of the year or things like that because we've got a separate video for that. We did our top 10. Jordan picked 5. I picked 5. You can check that out over here. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, stay strong.